How the bloody hell do you flirt with men? Stop being subtle, be direct. Yup, all men are either dumb or scared of being accused of harassment after interpreting things wrong. Honesty is cool. Had this happening at a festival a few days ago. Girl was being talkative to me. I don't generally get attention from women. At first I thought she was being friendly. It took her offering me a bite of her pizza by almost shoving it in my face and wiping a smudge of my lips that she was flirting with me. I was more stunned and confused about getting the attention and being flirted with. I was out my element. Be honest and direct, unless you wanna see another. This girl was flirting with me and I had no idea. Post. On Reddit in about 10 years. Maybe even blunt. I find you attractive. Talk to me and let's get to know each other. I'm Canadian and an ex of mine was coming to town for a weekend. She lived a couple of hours away and wanted to meet up. Cool. We were in high school when we dated. Now we're adults. Both of us are single. No issues. She invited me to stay in her hotel room. I live maybe a 10 to 15 minute walk from where she was staying, but okay, sure. We can stay up late and reconnect or whatever. I offered to sleep both on the floor or the loveseat in the hotel room so she'd have the massive bed to herself and it wouldn't be awkward. She insisted I share the bed and eventually I relented because a bed is better than a floor or a couch and there was room enough for 3 people, let alone 2, so I figured we'd have a wide enough buffer area. It wasn't until after we had sex, it kind of happened out of nowhere in the middle of the night, that I realized why she wanted me to stay over. So even if the signs are, hey, come stay in my hotel room with me for the night and share a bed with me, some dudes still won't see it. You need a fucking neon flashing sign sometimes for a dude to understand what you're trying to say. As an awkward teenager, I'd sort of immediately assume any non-negative interaction with a woman was flirting. She asked me for a pencil. Obviously she's into me, but I also was aware this was stupid, so I overcorrected and would constantly rein myself in by telling myself, no, you're reading too much into this. Hence the need for flashing neon signs. And even then, they might just be friendly neon signs. Better be safe and pretend they don't mean anything flirty. Been in this boat. When I was like 18-19, girl who I was into and had slept with previously invited me over to hers. We generally had really good chemistry and goofed around a lot. A lot of people thought we were together because we sort of rode that line quite a lot. Anyway, she invites me over, we hang out for a bit, I watch her play Kingdom Hearts, then we start messing about, like play fighting type stuff. Next thing we decided it would be funny to fight over a makeup pen and draw on each other with it. One thing lead to another, I end up shirtless, she's just in her bra and shorts, I climb on top of her to grab the pen and she says a flirtatious, "Oh, hello there." While I was on top of her, she decided to play dead, multiple times in a row. I didn't really get it, but thought maybe she wanted a kiss of life, so I leant in and kissed her. She went batshit at me, as apparently she had a boyfriend, and thought we were just being silly as friends. She kicked me out and we went about 9 months not even on speaking terms. Our friendship never recovered. Since then I have always been at the other end of the spectrum, not doing anything unless they spell it out for me and give expressed permission. Just talk, and be blunt. Captain Obvious. We generally suck at picking up subtle hints. My ex has on multiple occasions told me, "Didn't you notice she was hitting on you?" I've never noticed even once. I usually make him some food and show him my boobs. She was hungry and made pizza. I guess her back hurt because she took off her shirt and bra. I took that as my sign that she wanted to be alone and left. Never heard from her again. 10 years later, fuck, I'm an idiot. I think she was hitting on me. You need to be very obvious and blunt. The sheer idea that a woman could be hitting on us is such a foreign concept to most men that it is probably the last thing they expect when you start talking to them. Enthusiasm. Not fake or manufactured. Interest. Excitement. We live in a pretty sarcastic and non-committal era. People would rather be distracted than interact. If you have a particular guy you're interested in, find out what he's into and figure out what's interesting about it. Otherwise, I know personally I'm attracted in general, not necessarily romantically, to people who light up a room, speak with conviction, and will nerd out with me. Be completely blunt. You don't have to say, "I want to suck your penis clean off." but a sincere declaration that you're romantically interested. A man has to be super fucking attractive to be used to that kind of attention, so unless he's a 12 he's going to wave any subtle flirtation away as him reading too much into or he thinks you could be flirting but doesn't want to be wrong and labeled an incel stalker or some such. My partner and I will be together 5 of the happiest years of our lives tomorrow, and she apparently was all but throwing it in my lap since she knew me. I'm relatively attractive but not winning any blue ribbons at the county fair. She is tall and I'm 5 feet 5 inches. Was a time you couldn't donate sperm if you were under a certain height. Blonde. Fun as all hell. Mature when not counting pictures of dicks and all legs and TNA, so the moment I laid eyes on her I threw that possibility right out of my head. According to her, she used to bend over trying to show me her chest. She would wear a dress and sit across from me at staff meetings crossing and uncrossing her legs, and one time at a party even offered to buy me a drink and I didn't notice any of it. The thing is, nice guys used to just actually be nice. I didn't notice any of that flirting because I want looking. We work together and work already sucks. Why make it harder giving someone a reason to have to worry? Oh, is this too revealing? Will this give the wrong signal? Fuck that noise. She had to spell that shit out for me like she was teaching a toddler to read. If you're really interested, just be honest, especially if he bites and in the end you're just not feeling it. Offer him a cookie. Now when he reaches for the cookie, accidentally touch his hand. React surprised to the hand touching while you accidentally touch his arm. Rinse and repeat until you get to put a cookie in his mouth. Works every time. Be direct with him. Many men suck at subtle signs. In this day and age, many men tend to be overly cautious with women and tend to not assume interest just because she is being nice. Don't play games or silently judge him if he doesn't flirt back. He may just think you are a nice, friendly person. We have been told for years now that just because she is nice and smiling and speaking to you, doesn't mean she is interested in you. As a man, here is how a relationship that just started about a week ago came to be. We'd been making eyes at each other for a while at work when we ran into each other at the lunchroom. Smiles, short conversations while we got coffee, lots of eye contact. I was digging it, but I was uncertain about whether she was being friendly or flirty. So I was gonna let it be. Don't shit where you eat, as the saying goes, because getting hauled into HR over misunderstanding would have been bad for so many different reasons. Finally, she just straight up messaged me over our corporate IM platform, and flat out asked me out on a date. Which is a first for me. I've asked out plenty of people and I've even been flirted with a couple times, but never in my life has anyone ever taken the first step like that. To say I was over the moon is an understatement. She told me plainly over lunch that she was into me. I was into her before, but damn did that ever kick it up a notch. Men are simple creatures. The hints and flirting and such are only going to be sufficiently convincing if you beat us over the head with it so hard that we're at risk of a TBI. I'm socially awkward to say the least, but once I had a girl say to me, "Do you need me to cook you breakfast tomorrow?" I was confused and said, "Thanks, but I know how to cook," and walked away. Touching. Women use that trick all the time. Touch his shoulder. If he's muscular, ask him if he works out and ask if you can touch his muscles. Then compliment. Be a little coquettish and find ways to make contact. Men may be stupid as hell interpreting messages, but touching is an obvious way to let someone know you're into them. Put one hand on each side of man's face. Look man directly in eyes. Say to man, "I'm attracted to you and I'd like to go on a date with you." Some variation of that. Be direct. I thought I was hideous for a while in college because I was flirting with a guy for ages and he never picked up on it. Finally I just said, "I think you're cute and I'd love to take you out for a drink sometime." Boom. Done. There are some women out there who I'm fairly sure have flirted with me or shown interest, but I don't follow up because I don't know which ones. I can't tell being friendly apart from flirting. It's got to be obvious. I'm not a game player. I don't want to lose friends, acquaintances to misinterpreted communications. Anything less subtle than an elevator look and a wink with bedroom eyes and I'm just going to err on the side of caution and assume that you're just a kind and friendly person who doesn't want to be hit on by every guy she talks to. You really do gotta hit us over the head with it. This needs to made clear. In the Western world, as a broad generalization, guys do not experience enough polite, platonic kindness to distinguish it from romantic interest. With guy friends, we often express intimacy and respect with banter, barbs, jabs. I'm saying this because I know you're tough enough not to be hurt, and because you know me well enough to understand I'm joking. With lady friends, if she says, "You're fun to be around," then, what does that mean? Yes, at face value it means she enjoys my company, but is she asking to be around me more? Is it fun in the stomach butterfly sense? Is it fun in the horny sense? When guys spend their formative years with guy-only friendships, we often have literally no idea what to do with that info. And as George Carlin said, God gave men a brain and a penis, and only enough blood for one at a time. That tends to mean if a guy can't tell whether a girl is flirting, he'll either black circle default to, "She wants to fuck me," which is how you get guys who don't seem capable of seeing women as people, or black circle default to, "She's just being nice," which is why those cute, respectful guys seem incapable of taking a hint. So if you flirt with a guy, and he seems to be missing all your signs, either he's not interested and he's politely rejecting you, or he's very interested and he's trying not to let the boner ruin the friendship in case the flirting's all in his head. Again, sweeping generalization. Either way, and open and honest, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but are you interested in dating, hooking up, whatever? We'll clear things up with minimal risk, and it's way easier for a guy to be romantic if we know it'll be reciprocated, rather than, say, mocked, or reported to the police. I walked into the office of my work crush and started talking nonsense, waiting for him to be like, "What do you need?" He never got to it, so I started to leave. Then finally he asked, "Why did you stop by?" I replied with, "To look at you. I've never seen a man turn so many shades of red." It was perfect and we ended up seeing each other for a while. Just be direct, it catches them so off guard.